welcome to your Monday, May 11th, Power Hour meeting with Carly and Claire. Happy belated Mother's Day. Did anyone run any events for their clients or do any pop-bys or fun activations or anything to celebrate?
I became friends with everyone at the Toronto Temple game.
It's on my list to talk about. It's true. We went to the Friday Toronto Temple game, first women's Toronto game. It was fun. Yeah. I had fun. I thought it was good. Sanek's he's a seasons pass holder. So when we got to the Rose, he made a point to introduce himself to every single person in that surrounding area. Because I guess the first game is the chance where all the seasons pass holders go, for sure. And then after that, they gift tickets or sell them or do what they need to do. So you made a WhatsApp group with how many people were in that group now? About 10. So it's all seasons pass holders for the Toronto Temple. But now Senek has 10 new contacts in his database. One person messaged him right after, said, "Hey, I see you're in real estate. I'm in the appraisal business. Let's keep in touch."
Actually said I owned the
You technically own your own real estate business. Everybody does, right? So I think that's a good idea. There's a good community involvement. You can do that in many different ways. So WhatsApp group is super easy to manage and admin, and you can almost do any sort of topic that you're interested in, right?
You could do that for hockey teams, you can do that for baseball teams, you can do that for soccer teams, everything, right? So all the parents and that. So.
Yeah, I almost think WhatsApp is a little bit easier than the Facebook community groups that you have to manage, because WhatsApp is just text messaging. It's just sharing images back and forth, right? You don't have to like log in and sort of make like a post and manage it. It's just a group with communication back and forth, right? Mm-hmm. So it's good. You're going to go to the game on Wednesday as well? You're going to go to all of them now?
No.
How are you going to manage Raptors and Tempo when the time comes?
Just give them to clients.
Give them to clients? It's not a bad client gift. It's all right.
I'm just curious. I mean, lots of people are doing the season tickets for pro sports just for not to watch the sport, just to be present, right? Who'd you meet down there? You met
Sam McDaddy.
Sam McDaddy was down there. He bought season tickets as well?
Yeah.
And how about...
He's on TV. He's going to be on TV all the time now.
Because where he's sitting? Or?
Where he's sitting is literally like the video's facing.
And what about the super fan? Is he there? He bought tickets too?
He's right beside too.
Everybody know what I'm talking about, super fan?
Do you guys know Sam McDaddy, super fan? They're what do they call them? Raptors? Like...
Who's a super fan? What's his name?
They're like unofficial ambassadors, I guess, now?
I don't know if they're unofficial. They're big supporters.
It's part of their brand strategy to be there at every game, to be visible, to be present, to be on TV. But that's their strategy, right? That's the part of their business. So.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I guess it's free TV advertising. I don't know.
I don't know if it's free. I'm sure they invest a lot of money, and they go to even all the away games.
Oh yeah, Sam did actually.
What's that?
Nav did.
Nav got a Raptors gave him a ring, right?
Well, he also got inducted into the Basketball Hall of Fame.
He's doing commercials now too for not his cars. He's doing commercials for pizzas or something. I don't know what he's doing for.
That's some big branding.
One game in since '95.
Wow, good for him.
He's missed his anniversary. He's missed his wife's birthday.
Wow.
For
the Raptor.
Well, nice.
For his business.
Super fan.
Literally a super fan. How
did anybody else for Mother's Day? Anybody do Brian Buffini stuff? Anybody do anything for their clients for Mother's Day?
Tom Joseph dropped off Mother's Day cards with movie tickets.
Oh, that's nice.
They're cheerleaders.
Our ambassadors.
They're ambassadors, right? Tom Joseph dropped off movie tickets and Mother's Day cards for his preferred clients.
That's a good idea.
I know another agent gave out flowers. Flowers for Mother's Day. A whole bunch of people came around, so that was
flowers, coffee, and cotton candy. So there's something for all ages, for the kids and for the moms and for everybody, right? Mm-hmm. So that was good. It's a good idea.
Little things. So, yeah. So if you missed out this time, when's the next one? Father's Day.
Right?
Yep. Of course, if you do something for Father's Day, you did do something for Mother's Day, then you're reversed. So.
That's true. That's true. You got to be consistent. That's fair. You got to do Auntie's Day or something too.
Okay, so you want me to come hang out with you on Father's Day?
Sure.
Yeah. Good. Who ran open houses this weekend? I know Natsumi, I saw your name. Did you run it yourself? How did it go?
3 groups on the Saturday and 1 group on Sunday.
3 Saturday, 1 Sunday. With agents or not with agents?
No, without agent.
Without agents. Any possible leads for yourself or?
Yes, 2 of them.
Very good. And that's for your listing that you just put up last week as well? How's listing activity
We actually received the
offer? And you doing holding offers or no? No.
Wait, you already got an offer?
sold condition.
What?
Sold conditional.
Oh.
So that's only 5 days? How long on the market? 6 days on market.
Wait,
That's
I thought you
good.
said you had no activity.
Yeah.
There was no
Oh, then-
selling until I think Thursday or Friday.
Is that right?
I was so nervous because we didn't get any showing.
You weren't getting showings right away and you were nervous?
Yeah, I called all the agent who recently did the sales in that area.
Yes.
And because I thought they may have some potential buyers contacts, and then that way, so one of the agent who had recently sold on their listing,
Mhm.
they had a potential buyers, and they were showing. Yeah.
So wait, was it only that one showing or how many showings did you have total?
6.
Okay. And I heard Nelson say you only need one showing. So you had 6 showings, 1 offer. But for those online, the strategy wasn't just to sit and wait for showings. She called all the listing agents in the area and said, hey, you might have some residual buyers from your listing. I've got a new property right down the street. Do you have anybody? And that ended up being the buyer for your property. And they didn't see it otherwise. They weren't on MLS looking for the area or. That's awesome. So you can't just sit and kind of hang out and wait. You do have to put some work and make the calls, right? That's good.
Of course, your next call is going to be just listed to the neighborhood.
Mm-hmm.
And once it sells, it's going to be, hey, we just sold, right? Sounds good. Yeah.
Yeah, you leverage it for more listings.
Condition.
Yes. Yeah, that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
Anyone else run open houses or online? Yes, Susan.
He did.
You're gonna make her do all the talking? I'm gonna give you the microphone. NASA ran open house where?
It was in Milton.
In Milton. Okay. Was it brand new listing or what was the product?
Yeah, new listing, but we got about 150 flyers.
Okay, new listing, 150 flyers like the week before to advertise the open house. Okay,
Yeah,
good.
We did some door knocking.
Yes.
But the turnout was not as we expected.
Okay.
We had some refreshments for people to come in.
Yes.
I think there were 3 families, one.
That's good. 3 families through like the one day
It
or
was on Saturday.
Yeah.
We had 19 open house signs around.
19 finds. Yeah. Yeah. That's okay. Saturday, I
Okay.
think, was a better day to do it too because everyone was sort of busy doing their Mother's Day thing Sunday, right? So,
I guess it was still affected by Mother's Day.
yeah, a little.
People busy and shopping.
But I actually think that's a good activity. We're not expecting a whole flurry of people walking in anymore, right? So,
Okay.
yeah, that doesn't sound too bad.
What we doing? Mocktail. No.
No alcohol. I did get a lot of questions about open house signs and where you're allowed to put them. And my first question or answer to that question will always be, where is the open house? Because every town municipality has different rules, right? Some are a little more strict than others. Did you look up Milton rules? I'm sure. And I think you were allowed probably to put them as long as they were not blocking safety and they weren't causing like a nuisance to the environment. Some places like Pickering, Ajax are only allowed at the particular property for the duration of the open house. So every town has a little bit slightly different rules. So just pay attention and ask for forgiveness after if you want to take the risk, I guess, too, right? It just depends. So. Yeah. Anyone online run open houses or did you guys see any signs while you were driving around? Like what's the general feeling out there? I saw a bunch in our area. I saw someone else. I like this activity or idea too. She does this almost for all her listings. They'd run a garage sale about a couple of weeks before they get the listing on the market. So it almost looks like an open house. It's a similar open house sign with their team information, but it doesn't say open house, it says garage sale from this time to this time. And I know now that that listing is probably going to come up in a couple of weeks. They're just clearing it, prepping it, getting ready to go. So it's actually part of the pre-marketing buzz that you're creating without calling it a coming soon. So I think it's a good idea because it gets your name out there, it gets your exposure, and you get kind of out there in the neighborhood. I bet the agents were helping run the garage sale as well. I thought that was a good idea.
A lot of people, some people will do a garage sale before they even talk to an agent.
That's true too. Yeah. Yeah.
Try to do a garage sale, try to clear the house and that before they list the property, but they haven't listed yet. So it might be an opportunity for somebody that's thinking.
Yeah. If you're walking around, that's true. Do you want to summarize a little bit of the meeting today? I took a couple notes
didn't
as
take
well.
notes.
You didn't take any notes? They talked a little bit. We talked about this as a management team too, and new agents get into the business. they do the schooling and they do the thing. And I'm not sure what the perception of what a real estate agent is, but I think we forget, or the new agents sometimes forget, that it's a sales business. This is a sales role. It's a sales business. And that's why we have people who comes from all different backgrounds as well. But it's, especially in this market, it's sales, it's negotiating. The guy was saying it's not just going on Canva and making a template and putting it on your social media anymore. These are real sales skills that we need to be developing. And a lot of the coaches that we're talking today, train agents on that. And it's all sales skills and communicating and negotiating, objection handling. The marketing is sort of a bonus to market your own self and your brand, but truly we're a sales business, right? Part of what they were saying is our job is literally to get rejected over and over at a very high scale, right? And that because the earn out at the end is very high as well. But what we could do day to day is quite aggressive.
Those guys are from Detroit area, right?
Yes.
I'm not sure whether the guest guy, where was he from?
Somewhere in the U.S. as well. I didn't see
But
what
not
city.
Detroit?
No.
He was saying here in his area that the agents don't do for sale by owners and they don't do expiries. So I'm just curious, in our area, do we do for sale by owners and do expiries? No? Yes? No? Some people do, some
know
people don't.
People, yes.
Mhm. I know, but I'm just curious whether or not people here, is that part of the pillars? Anybody here pillar use that? I know expires you're not allowed to identify expires through MLS, but there's no reason why you can't knock on a door and do an area and whatnot. So anyways, there's two opportunities there maybe that you might want to think about.
Mm-hmm. They're saying too, like, unless you're this like extroverted, overly expressive person where you're going to all these parties and everyone wants to be friends with me and work with me, and Claire said, unless you're Sanic, basically, you need to prospect, because if you're not like that, you're not going to be visible. They're not going to come to you all the time just naturally. So you can be that person. That's like 10% of the population. Not everybody is like that. So the rest of us have to actually prospect in an organized way. So they were breaking it down. It's not anything that we haven't talked about before, but if you can do the math of how many people you need to contact to achieve how many deals, you know how many people you need to call every day. And that ratio when you first start is very big. So he was saying at first it was 500 contacts per one deal he had to do when he first got into real estate. And over time, the ratio gets smaller and smaller. So now he can do 200 contacts for 20 deals. And he's broken that down to 25 contacts a day. He knows that to hit his goal, he needs to talk to 25 new people every single day. So you can do that too. You can really break it down. What's your goal? How many hours a week do you want to work? What's your baseline right now? How many it takes to contact people per deal? And you can do that today. But this is not new. We've talked about this over and over. So
we've been doing this for years, like the Mike Ferry guys and the Floyd Whitman guys. We do it for years and years and years. He said that when he first started doing it, it took him 500 contacts to get one appointment or to get one listing.
Deal. Yeah.
And then but by keeping track of it, now he boiled it down to 250. Now he's boiled it down to like 25 or something, right?
Yep.
That's just by skill. That's just by learning what to say and what to say, who to say, what to say, right? That's all that is, just by doing it.
Yeah.
But that was curious. And then we used to do that to Pete, looking at Pete here and Beal and these guys here, that I think we had it boiled down to 17 to 1 or something at one point. 17 contacts for one appointment, something like that. And then Mike Ferry used to always say that if you want to do 25 transactions a year, you got to do 25 contacts a day. That was just sort of the rule of thumb. So that's what this guy was doing, 25 contacts a day for 25 deals. So it sort of boils down to what we talked about all the time. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and they were saying you have to be comfortable with sucking. Like, especially when you first start, you are going to suck. You're not trained to be like this. You have to practice and you have to be comfortable doing it. And the more that you do it, of course, you'll become better at it. But I think it's the initial sort of making that call, getting out there, and then getting into the routine of doing it.
This guy.
Yeah.
Why? What's he doing?
And I was just going to say that, and people doing open houses, hopefully you have a sign-in sheet and people are giving your email addresses or phone numbers, and you're phoning people that went to your open house last year.
Yeah, this guy here, he goes around there and he went out and he actually delivered
And handled the
150
flyers.
flyers, did the door knocking. Yeah, right. And all that activity is going to become more than the actual open house itself, right? You just talked to 150 people. You had
And everyone.
Flyer enter to win.
Yeah. Did you get activity from that too, like email addresses and?
Yeah, you got it.
Yeah, people want free something. They love free stuff. So that's the main tactic. It wasn't actually the 2 hours at the open house. It's all the pre-work before and then the after follow-up.
Together.
Perfect. That's good. You guys compete against each other.
Everyone was so pleasant.
Of course.
Like in
Milton, yeah. Well, I've heard an agent say too, like they're not going to answer the door if they don't want to talk to you. If they're not pleasant, nice people, they will just not come to the door. If they're going to come to the door. They're probably somebody that wants to talk to you and they're happy to see you, right? So you guys are already over that fear, I know. Yeah. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, I didn't really. That's kind of all the notes I took from that particular session. It wasn't bad though.
No, it's good. I mean, it's all good. Any type of coaching is good.
Mm-hmm. Oh, do you want to jump right into?
I'll go with the stats first. So how? Okay, so you guys tell me. Do you find that May's doing anything? Oh, yesterday, the weekend with Mother's Day was probably a little bit slower. But do you find that May's picking up a little bit? Anybody? Do you find May picking up more than the previous months? Anybody seeing that?
I don't feel like it.
Does not or does? Because I'm looking at the numbers. The numbers tell me yes. The numbers tell me that things are cracking a little bit. The weather's getting nice. It's starting a little bit colder. It's been raining for the last week and a half or so. It's been raining every day, but I still see things picking up a little bit there. I see the numbers. So I don't know. So the numbers right now, we've got 26,000 active listings. Started the year off at 17,000, so 26,000 right now. 15,000 are freehold and 11,000 are condos. Vacant's about 33%, or 40% of condos are vacant right now. Sales over asking about 20%, and what I said last week is probably 8% if you look at the original price versus the last price. But anyways, I got 20%. 24% of freeholds are going for over asking. Only 13% of condos are going for over asking. Nelson, have you any last week or so? You seen any multiples anywhere? Has anybody been involved in multiples? Activity in that. So, okay. Anybody here price something low to hoping to get multiple offers and didn't happen? Anything happen there? No, on the buyer side either. Okay. Daily, we're coming in about 193 per day. Projected month of inventory is about 4.5. Well, it's 3.6 months of inventory for freehold, and it's 6.7 months of inventory for condos. Anybody have condos they're trying to sell right now? What's going on in the condo world? Bill, you got anything going on with your condo?
I had an offer actually on the weekend, and Jeb was signing back, and wherever you the agent she wanted. And actually, what happened this month? They raised the maiden this week, so that triggered them off.
That was really well.
Yeah.
How much did they raise it by?
No. And maidens we went up $38, and there's about.
So this is a good testament to how sensitive buyers are right now. So
just have the regular and sort of ones in a special stuff.
So for those online, we sold a condo, kind of going back and didn't sell it. Sorry, going back and forth, got an offer on it, and the maintenance fees had increased. And he's saying the buyers threw them off a little bit. So I would be talking to those buyers and showing them cash flow budget. And
so why would the agent come back to you and ask for $38 times 5 years, for a
price
discount?
reduction?
What I told her is so. She said no, because if you keep on going up, so.
Yeah, so that's an uneducated buyer's agent right there, because maintenance fees should go up every year in order to maintain the health of the building. That's a good thing for it to marginally go up every year to protect the reserve fund. That to me tells me it's an uneducated buyer's agent, right? Trying to introduce you now to, if they're not comfortable with that, how are they going to be comfortable with anything in the future? That's interesting.
Are you getting showings otherwise, or?
Not many.
Not a whole lot, yeah. Wow.
Yeah, I'm reading condos are very, very slow, except for C21 downtown core, but we'll talk about that a little bit.
Okay, good. All right. So daily, months of inventory. I'm saying things are picking up only because I'm projecting the months. Okay, based on 193 deals per day, I'm projecting sales about 5,800. So 5,800 sales for May. I'll just sort of tell you what's going on. January, we had 3,000 sales, which is it's like Christmas. That's like December sales, right? In February, we had 3,800 sales. Still, it's not it's just sustainable. That's it. March, we had 5,000 sales, so it's starting to pick up a little bit there. April, we had 5,900 sales, and March so far, we're also going to do about 5,900. So every month is picking up. So it's getting stronger every month. So that's encouraging.
Mm-hmm.
It's 12% ahead of April. So the first 10 days in April versus the first 10 days in May, we're 12% ahead. And actually, freeholds are 24% ahead, and condos, unfortunately, are minus 10% from the first 10 days in April. Leases, we've only got 26,000 active leases, active properties for sale. Leases for sale are 17,000. Imagine that. And we've got, on the lease side, about 53% are vacant, about 50% of the properties. Leases are about 7% less than last year. And leases on the freehold side are minus 2%, and the condos are minus 10% as well. As far as April 10th goes, we're about 15% behind April 10th on the leases. So what's going on in the leases? Everybody find leases are slowing down as well, or no? We talked about this last week as well.
The quality of the farm.
So who just said to me just now? Somebody said that he's getting lots of people inquiring, but the qualities of the people renting are. So when you say quality, what's your problem? Wasting time? What does that mean? And they're represented by agents as well, or these guys are coming directly to you? Okay, so no income, low income.
Lots of worries.
I can't go over the number of people that are lying. So how are you catching the line?
So they say, okay, we have everything ready, the credit score is good, and this and that, and when we get to the time that we're gonna put an offer, you see like they lied about their profile. So probably they worked with someone else and they didn't get the result, and they thought, okay, maybe this person can help me, and they lie about it.
But they lied, but the hard facts still showed the truth, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but you wasted a bunch of your time taking them out at this corner.
Yes.
We discovered that, their 750 credit score was their uncle's brother's sister, not theirs.
Yeah.
I've had the same thing too.
Yeah.
So over the phone, they tell you their credit score is 700, and then you show them around a bunch of places, and you finally get to time.
They say we have a good credit score, we have a job offer, we have this and that, but
The job offers are not working yet. So.
And the rental way underpriced. $1,700 square feet for $300, which should be about 29. We've had about 500 hits, 6 offers, 4 of that's garbage.
and they all want to bargain now.
Yeah.
Oh, they want to negotiate the asking price? Okay.
$100 less is all. Yeah.
Actually, I've had one because they're not permanent residents. They were offering about $500 to work. But their permit is up in about a year and a half, so we don't care. We know what.
Can you work without being permanent resident?
Yes.
You can.
We're talking illegal.
They have a work permit, but not permanent resident.
And the applications once was rejected. They submitted our application.
Is anybody using the verified or single key?
I'm almost wondering if you need to do that.
Which one do you prefer? Single key, verified? You got one preference?
Texas better because it's cheaper.
Verified's better because it's cheaper?
It's $14 or $16.
And you get the same information?
Same information. PropTex makes them connect to their bank in some way. So they try to pull their statements.
So for those people at home, we have the verified and we have single key. And what they do, they contact the tenant directly and ask the tenant to fill out information. Do they not?
Single key does the same.
So it's single key, but they go straight to the tenant and ask for the information, and then they draw their own credit report. They don't use theirs, right?
So would you have a tenant do that before you even take them out then? And ask them to provide their own single key report?
For $16, I wonder if you shouldn't pre-qualify these tenants before you put them in your car.
Tell them you'll reimburse them if you work with them or something. I don't know.
I had an agent. They couldn't offer. We were desperate to close the deal. I asked him for a discount because his property was listed very. He put it at $2,500 without parking. And then when we approached him, he said, it's $250 for parking. Whereas all the other units in the building, the $2,500 including park. So he purposely done that to have people who are do the show and then do that. Purpose that do. Anyways, we proceeded in putting it out because we were desperate. And I said, can you please ask the owner for a discount? He said, oh no, the owner's a beast. He won't agree. Anyways, after the deal was closed, he sent me a disclosure. He was the owner.
Oh, he's the owner himself? He wasn't?
Yeah, he was is the owner. I wasn't in a mood to argue.
Yeah.
That's so dishonest.
This is the world you're dealing with right now, right? So for those online, Morale is dealing with a landlord asking for a discount, and he's saying, "Oh no, we're not going to ask the landlord. He's a V, so we're not going to ask him." And it turns out he was a landlord at the end. But I am reading that landlords are offering a lot of incentives right now, up 66% from the first quarter. So last year was about 62%. And they're even including now these incentives in the net rents, and it's causing the net rent averages to actually go down with the incentives. But people are now just doing 2 months of free rent and even a cash move-in bonus. Just cash, just to move in, right? These are for good tenants. These are not for the tenants you guys are talking about with not good credit and low income. These are for really good tenants that you want in your place. But yeah, they're offering cash bonuses.
These are corporate landlords, right? These
doesn't say. I mean, it says some landlords offering incentives. So I could see some, probably. Like I've got an ad here for Sloan, which is I think they're trying to do high-end furnish rentals. It's near Yorkdale Mall. They're doing an event on the 20th. They're apparently saying doubling your commissions. Discover the first purpose-built rental broker program and double your commissions. So I don't know what the rental prices are, but you could be right. It could be people like this offering cash, move-in bonuses, and tons of incentives and things like that too. But I am reading that prices are going down. Vacancy rates are at an all-time high. But then I hear people like Mo's, you're telling me in CO1, 2-bedroom condo rentals are flying within like a day or two. So that's in the CO1 core, right? Downtown?
24 and 26 range, 2 beds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And are you seeing...
Yeah, I mean, that's what it should be anyways. All the other ones are silly.
Yeah. And that's what we're saying, to pay that for a 2-bedroom rental versus doing that on a mortgage. It's not even comparable.
So you're saying that they're going for 2,600
Yeah, like without parking.
without parking, and they're 2-bedroom,
26.
two-bedroom, or
They're all like multiple offer. At least the ones I'm working at. Right?
Yeah, multiple offers, probably good tenants that you're competing with as well. And I'm reading that too, like the media hasn't picked up on that yet. They're not talking about CO1 downtown, but they have picked up on the fact that 2 to 3 bedrooms are way more in demand than our 1-bedroom and studios. And those are still going multiple offers. Those are driving up prices a little bit. And that makes sense because we haven't been building those. I think that's where you're going to see the lift in your rentals is anything with a big unit that's nice will probably rent well. I'm also reading that there's going to be 10,000 purpose-built rentals coming to the market. So we already have a very high vacancy rate. Now all these condos that are coming to completion that didn't sell are going to turn into rentals. There's 10,000 more units coming to the GTA apparently for purpose-built rentals. So we are truly it's a renter's nation, but I don't know if they're actually going to fill all of these. Like I think we're going to have an oversupply of rental units, which will drive prices down, which is good for young people that want to rent and anybody that else wants to rent.
Just that was the like housing problem, and they say we have problem. I don't understand that. We have so many things, but
We have 26,000 listings available in the GTA market. 15,000 of those are freehold. I think prices are still too high, right? Yeah. And I think the supply problem that they're forecasting the future because we're not building anything today. So today we have obviously lots of supply available, but
last week we were talking about we have 9 years of inventory.
of condo inventory. I know. I think they're going to need immigration to fill condos. Like our population growth has slowed down, right? Fertility rates have slowed down. There's just not people enough to fill these condos, and they didn't build for what people want. I was reading something on the news that a lot of other countries build, architect, develop for lifestyle, for looks, for art, for culture. And we build for ROI. Like we built for investors and we built just cookie cutter little things to get people in and out. But there's no design. They don't look nice. Like if you look at our downtown core, it's all concrete buildings. There's no thoughtfulness except for King Building. I think is the one that looks really nice that's standing out right now. That's popular. Has some aesthetic to it, but we just weren't really thinking about that. Just wasn't our lifestyle.
Brands now.
Yeah.
Before we have people that bring you all the money.
Yeah. And it's still quite expensive just overall. I heard New Seton, the new development in Pickering, townhouses, property taxes are $8,000. So this is what you think is supposed to get affordable housing out to these areas in that sort of missing middle townhouse. But imagine trying to pay property taxes at $8,000.
That's the same in
That's a lot.
Same in Orangeville.
Orangeville
Or
too? Aaron, yeah.
like $9,000 my class playing.
Still for a house or for a town?
No, townhouse.
Townhouse. Wow. Like
And how much are the townhouses selling for now in those areas?
Bought ours in October for the
900,000?
800,000?
800,000? Okay.
It was 1,700 square feet. It was a freehold.
Freehold, yeah. Well,
so I guess the question is if these units are going to sit empty and they're not corporate owned, like you were saying, the one single landlord, are they going to sell these units eventually and just cut their losses?
yeah.
That's what you guys will hope for, right? That they end
what I've heard about like for 1-bedroom condos, like people that work from home, they don't want 1-bedroom condos because they want to be able to have a place they can get away from their spouse or girlfriend or boyfriend, whatever it is, right? So they want something at least 1+1 or 2.
Yeah.
So it's one of these little micro places or 1-bedroom places because they're going to struggle a little bit.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So I'm reading anything outside the CO1 core, like Markham, Oakville, Vaughan, they're all struggling. Barrie condos, like anything that's not in that downtown accessibility core, the condos just are not desirable.
But I tell you something else here. They are getting some motion because the sales for last month were +7% overall. All properties of all types were +7%.
Mm-hmm.
If you look at the 416 condos, they're actually up 14%. So that's a good call there too, right? 905 condos are actually down 0.6%, but the 416 is up 14 points. These are for sale. Prices themselves are, of course, down all across the board. The prices are down 6%, townhouses down 6%, detached down 1.9%. So the prices have dropped, but they're starting getting activity. So if you got any condos sitting there not selling, there is activity, just that your price maybe isn't right.
It's just it's just price.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You can go if you have something.
Sticking with condos here, they're saying here, as the condo market finally hit the bottoms, and that's what they're saying here. This is CBC talking about this. So CBC is saying here that after a year of sluggish sales and canceled projects, the condo market in Canada's largest cities is showing signs of recovery, drawn by lower prices. This person here is prepared to, they've actually got their first property because of lower prices. They're saying here the prices for condos, this is actually for your condo, they're back to 2017 prices. So imagine that.
I could see that in Fort York area.
I didn't check this myself. I'm just reading it, right? So they're talking about the Fort York area. The prices are back to 2017 prices.
Oh wait, Village B isn't even at 2017 yet.
Okay, we're gonna go back. Let me go back. Yeah, it does.
2000 average price was 823. Today the average price is $1,050,000, but that's properties of all types. So I'm not sure about condos. So, anyways, I'm just the messenger. You got the first time home savings plan, RSP for home buyers plan, low interest rates. These were all things that were used for these people to buy property. So that there are things out there that they can take advantage of, right? He's saying that it's shifted from a seller's market where properties would sell in less than 2 weeks to a buyer's market where it can sit there for 6 months. We know that already. Last month, they're saying here there was 1,054 units in the 416 area. That's 14.4% increase. And the prices fell 6.4%. Lower prices, lower borrowing costs help boost sales. And there's stiff competition as well. So they're all talking positive here about the interest rates coming down and being positive. So
yeah, they held the rates last week, right? So, in terms of price,
is more of a seller's market.
It's 3.9%. It's 3 months of inventory, so it's not. I wouldn't say it's quite a seller's market. It's kind of an even market, I think.
I think it depends pocket to pocket. I think every pocket has its own sort of micro market. Like we saw a property in W02, like Bloor West Village, listed at 2.7 to hold multiple offers. They got 6 offers and sold for $3 million. So I've been saying this for a while. I think that middle class of people who have been saving for the past 3 years, they put all their money into stocks and investments, and that has all done very well over time. Those are the people that are seeing the opportunity now because they have something with equity to sell and they can easily move that over to something else. So I'm seeing the middle class kind of step up a little bit. to the micro markets too, be careful when you're pricing properties. Like this article is showing the 905 different from 416. And we have to be careful because we hover between those two areas all the time, right? But in 416, like most prices were down. Like detached fell 4.1%, semis fell 5%, townhouses 7.9%, condos only 6%. But if you look at 905, it's a lot down. So 10% total versus a 416 semis. Townhouses in 905 were down 9% compared with 5.9. Condos were both down, but still 7.5 compared to 6. So 905 is doing slightly worse than 416. If you're selling in those areas and you're looking at GTA overall stats, you have to remember to tell your clients about their particular pocket stats because it is taking a little bit of a hit more than our general 416 GTA.
I'm not sure if you guys think about this or not. This is a company here that got together with the Ontario government and they're going to buy, I'm going to guess this right now, they're going to buy $1.3 billion worth of, $1.3 billion worth of unsold pre-construction condos.
Yeah, and they're going to turn them into purpose-built rentals.
And they're going to buy 2,200 of them. The Ontario government's given them $300 million. The rest is coming from private investors. So the company's called, if anybody wants to invest in it, the company's called High Art Capital. So the Ontario government's given $300 million. The rest of the money is coming from private investors. And they're going to builders and offering to buy up their standing inventory. So if buyers don't close and the developer's not in the business of owning real estate, they're in the business of making real estate, right? So when the buyer doesn't close, what they're doing is they're offloading it to these guys to buy it instead. So these guys are probably taking the buyer's deposit and they're giving the rest of the money to the developer. They're going to do 25% of what they're buying, or 550 units are going to be re-rented out. Actually, I guess they're all going to be rented out. 2,200 will be rented out. There's another 2,200 on the market. And these ones here are going to be, the rent's going to be capped at 30% of the gross median household income. So there's going to be market caps for part of the, for some tenants. That's why the Ontario government, I guess, gave them money. So they're going to be able to make affordable housing.
Yeah.
So I don't know. What do you guys think about that? Do you think that the developers are being bailed out with Ontario government money, or do you think that they should stand on their own and sell the properties at market value?
It kind of feels that way.
It feels to me like they're being bailed out.
Me too. I mean, they've got your HST relief, which I haven't seen the impact of that necessarily here because we're not predominantly pre-construction anyways, but you have that going, but there's no incentives on the other side for the 26,000 listings we have in our GTA area.
And it's funny, during the boom there, everybody's saying there's not enough housing. That's why the prices went up. It wasn't the reason why the price went up. The price went up because the interest rates were so low. And 25% of the properties being sold were being sold to investors. Right? That's what jacked it up. The investors were competing with the first-time buyers. Right? So that's what happened. So as far as you're talking about Seton there, the Seton right now, there might be townhouses there without taxes, but they're not making any townhouses. Nothing's being built in that area. It's all just vacant land. Everybody been through there?
Mm-hmm.
Just a bunch of land that's been all scraped down. Nobody's building. I don't see any construction
going on. It seems confusing because Ontario has the highest development fees out of any province. So don't they create those fees themselves? Like who charges the development fee? Who decides that that's what the fees are?
Well, the city does. I mean, it's expensive. I mean, it's expensive.
but they made it that way. I don't know.
It's a catch-22, isn't it? It costs money to build sewers, costs money to build electrical, and get all the infrastructure and schools and roads. Curbs and sidewalks.
Why does it cost Ontario more than anyone else? So,
the way they planned it was stupid. I think just infrastructure-wise, even I don't understand on my mom's street, but we were the only house that still had cast iron, but 5 others didn't.
Cast iron,
plumbing
in the house. That's why we have the sewer back up.
Oh, okay.
But Toronto's too old. This infrastructure is about to get.
True. AI, anyone using or discover anything cool that we should know about? I hope you guys can teach us some stuff too. What's happening out there? Is there anything new, exciting? No? Claude's the new main thing right now, I think.
I feel like everyone's down for Claude. Let's switch back.
Switching back to ChatGPTs?
I tried Claude. I thought Claude kind of difficult. Yeah.
Okay, you have to be careful. So when you look for Claude, you're going to see 5 sponsored posts for non-Claude AI tools. So I saw Caitlin trying to like talk to what she thought was Claude, and it was not. It was like some other chatbot. So be careful about your sponsored things at the top. There's it's Claude.ai, I'm pretty sure is the main URL, right? So just be careful, it's actual Claude. But there is studies that showing that consumers are becoming more weary of real estate agents' use in AI. So I'm not surprised that this is coming, but there's some studies that are showing that 3 in 4 consumers expect artificial intelligence to play a role in some part of the buying process, but their trust in the technology is declining. So they are saying that they already know that AI is embedded into our processes, into our property websites. So they're not done. They know that it's already there. They are, though, they said 44% of people are willing to pay someone to verify the AI decisions, meaning they're happy to compensate a real estate agent to validate what they might have found on AI or what they know agents to be using in AI already. So they know that AI is being used in the business, but they're still willing to pay to trust a human to validate whatever they find. So they already assume that it's being used. So not worried about that. The question is that they're asking is whether the industry has earned the right to use it in decisions and change live with their actual finances. So how far are you going to take the AI to use it in the lending process, in the home inspection process, in the overall buying process? They did say that millennials and Gen Z were more likely to consider AI as an asset during the home search and purchase process, so that Gen Z and millennials were more comfortable in using AI to do their lending process, to do their application. They were a little bit more willing to let it kind of facilitate more of the home buying process versus older generations. But both populations were comfortable paying more people to validate the AI. They understand that AI is going to be used, but they are paying attention to what it's being used for, and they are losing a tiny bit of trust with how much it's taking over. But needless to say, they understand that it's being used and that they still would prefer to work with a real estate agent at the end of the day, just knowing that we're going to be using AI in our everyday processes. Said more than 56% of buyers trust a human's guidance over AI for assessing natural disaster risk, and 44% would pay extra for human verification of automated recommendations. So it's not a bad thing. We're using it, it's part of it, but it hasn't become everything. So
Who here's using AI yet? Who's using AI? Okay.
yeah, so some recommendations as we move forward into this AI world that, I'm not necessarily saying we have to do this, but just some food for thought. Flagging AI influence in your materials. So if you are using AI in your buyer's guide, your seller's guide, we might want to put a disclaimer at the bottom. Use Claude to help edit this document. I don't know, consumers might be looking for us to disclose in our captions or where we're using it. So just something to consider. Explaining how AI interact beyond speed. So just explaining to consumers exactly how you're using AI and where you're not going to be using it. You may even want to be, maybe as a brokerage, be drafting clear disclosure and consent language around the use of AI. So as a brokerage, we're going to have to think about that too in the future as our consumers are becoming more educated, and creating strong processes and record keeping, including data sources, model outputs, human review, and client consent. So all things that we're going to have to consider as we move into the world of AI. For me, I don't know how I functioned without it, to be honest. I don't know, like it's part of my daily life.
So as far as I can see, there's two things for AI, right? One is for your own use. Like you get things for yourself. You're trying to answer yourself, get an ideas yourself, what's going on. For instance, on the weekend there, I sent a couple of agents there something about Instagram and how to post things and what to post. And it was saying like, don't post the properties for sale on Instagram. If somebody wants to see a property for sale, they're going to go to realtor.ca.
Mm-hmm.
So it said instead, say things to think about before you buy, or give a list, or don't make these 5 mistakes before you buy your next house, or lists of things that are going on. And the AI, I think I used both, ChatGPT and Claude. And I gave both just to get an answer what's going on. And what I'm reading too sometimes, if you want to double check, to go to ChatGPT, ask your question, and then go to Claude and say, look, I asked ChatGPT this question and I got this answer. What do you think? And Claude will either concur or give you a different answer. All right. For instance, last night I asked ChatGPT, how many sales did we have in April 25? And it came back and told me 4,900 and something else, and I thought, that can't be right. So I had to go to Market Watch. It wasn't right. It was 6,195. So I'm not sure where it got this information. So it's not 100 right. But it could have also just asked the same question to another AI and maybe got a different question, all right? Or a different answer. I was reading here, I've got it here someplace, but guys in BC and like the BC board, I guess the RECO of BC is getting a little more serious with the people using AI. I'm familiar in Toronto, in Ontario, in Kawartha Lakes. I'm familiar with the property. It's a cottage property, and it's on a lake, or it's on a river, I guess. And I remember seeing the original photographs. In the original photograph, the river was chocked full of weeds. Like the whole river was all weedy. It was like in Lake Scugog. You remember when Lake Scugog is all weedy and that? So I remember this particular property and this particular thing, and just all this weeds on it. Forget that. And then about 3 months later, same property comes online, and the river is black. It's clear. It's beautiful. So it's obviously it's been AI. So guys have been doing this in BC are getting fined for doing that because they're not identifying that this is a fake picture. So you got to be careful that if you're going to enhance the picture, and in that particular case, I'm saying if I bought this property in the winter, for instance, and I'm expecting a nice, clear, clean river, and I go there in spring and it's all chock full of weeds, I'm gonna have a problem.
I also think just consumers don't like that behavior anymore. They don't want to be tricked and like I don't know. They just don't want to. They're gonna take offense to that. So I think we should start putting in you have the caption box in your photos. I probably would just say AI, not generated, but has been touched up or edited with AI. Just disclose it. Just be honest about it.
Yeah.
Sanic showed me a picture of one. I don't even know what they were trying to hide. I guess it was like Christmas time and snow. So they had the Christmas decor, like the deers and like Christmas lights. So I guess they used AI to try to make it grass, but the deer were still there. So it was like grass with like Christmas decor, deer, and like hints of snow. So like it looks bad. Just take a new photo. It's just be careful. It looks unprofessional, but like that was obvious that they used AI. They didn't have to disclose it, but that's what they were trying to do, right? Hide snow.
Mm-hmm.
What?
Oh, it's replying to people automatically, putting them in my CRM automatically.
Yeah, that's what we should be doing. So
Okay.
the lead comes in and you have an AI bot that's chatting with them via text or a chat bot or
On Marketplace.
on Marketplace, right through Facebook Marketplace, chatting with them, doing some qualifying questions. I guess you have a pre-developed script.
Yeah, I ask the questions, and then it looks at whoever responded with good answers.
Yep.
So I told it what I want,
Yep.
and it asked for the phone number. Once the phone number in, then it'll look up their name and their phone number, and I reply, and it'll put in my CRM automatically.
Yep. And then you get a notification, John Smith has been added to your CRM.
Well,
So
I just check my CRM.
you see it, and then what's your like human action item at the end? Is it to follow up with that person?
Like,
Yeah.
I'm not replacing that part.
Yeah.
I have to call them and like ask them what they're looking for and stuff.
Yeah.
But
And is your ad rental based or sale based?
right now I'm doing the rental base.
Okay, yep.
But like since it is working,
Yep.
I got it started on I think Friday.
Yeah.
Or Saturday. So I like do sales too.
How did you teach yourself how to create those automations?
Oh, use that.
How did you teach yourself? I guess I'm trying to figure out, like, for regular agent who's listening or watching, like, they might think, oh, those guys are young, they're techie, they probably learned that, but you didn't. I know you self-taught yourself. So what were the mental steps you took to teach yourself how to do that?
It's a lot of trial and error,
Okay.
just doing it,
Yeah.
and then critically thinking about how to solve the problem themselves.
Yeah. So I think,
You actually have to read the responses AI like just because you tell it to do something, it gives you a result. That result for the first like 3-4 times you try to do it will not be right.
Yeah.
So you actually have to read like the solution to give you, and then make sure it's what you actually want.
yeah, I think a lot of the time it's spent on brainstorming the outcome you're hoping to achieve. So here's your problem. Here's the flow of things that need to happen. So you've identified, okay, the lead comes and the client's going to contact. Here's what they're typically going to say. Here's some common responses. Here's the responses I want. But you have to mentally do a roadmap of that entire process and then use AI to build it out. And it can, but that roadmap is the critical piece, because without that, it's just going to put out a bunch of like stuff that's not going to do what you want it to do.
But it's just like starting new something.
Yeah.
But the first prompt in, I know what it spits out, and then go from there. Really, like it just snowball from there, where you easily and you can ask it to do anything.
It's true.
you want, right? Like
Yeah.
you tell it to visualize the whole thing for you.
Yeah. So I'll saying just like start with the first prompt, because you can correct the prompt and tweak it as you go. Like you sense it's kind of trial and error. So you have to give it something and you're like, oh wait, that's actually not what I meant in my brain. I meant this, but you can correct yourself too and watch it real time. track things. But it doesn't need to be a complicated system you're building. It can be something as easy as you want to collect leads, respond to them, put them in your CRM. That would be a really simple workflow, right? But it's attainable for everybody, for sure. I think Claude and ChatGPT make it super easy, and there's so many things you can do.
So I've got this one here on AI, and this is from Agent Locator. Does anybody here use Agent Locator? No, nobody here. I see a couple of yeses here and there. So Agent Locator is a lead gen company, right? You could probably do it for, I don't know, $300 a month plus another $200, $300, $400 for boosting the ad in Google AdWords, I guess it is. Anyways, Agent Locator is saying here there's 10 practical ways real estate agents can use AI right now. So I know a lot of people here with AI, they're not going to be as advanced as these fellows here, but there are some things you can still do. They're there. So it says here that your old leads that you have may not be dead. So you've got a whole bunch of leads you've got over the years, open houses and web pages, and however you got these people here. And it's saying here, if you've ever imported your list, so you take that list you have. The question here is if you have ever imported a list or have old leads sitting in your CRM collecting dust, some of those leads may not actually be dead. Sometimes the issue is as simple as a typo in the email address. Does anybody notice that? Sometimes when you're setting up your database there, they might have missed somebody because you got a .com instead of a .ca or something there, or you spelt the name wrong. Has everybody seen that? I've seen that in the past. So they're saying here, take that list and upload it, the spreadsheet, to ChatGPT and ask it to confirm the email addresses, and you'll get a list of all the people that are misspelled. That's a practical thing. I like that idea, right? Stop posting vague market updates. So it says your content should answer a specific question buyers and sellers are already searching for. Type in questions your clients would like to ask. For instance, pros and cons of living in Scarborough. Best neighborhoods in Markham. Is safe areas. Cost of living. Things to do. Best schools. Just a little list of things to generate people to inquire, right? Turn a listing to a complete launch package. So do not ask AI to write an MLS description. Does anybody use that? Is anybody using AI to write your description on your listings?
Yes, they are.
Some people are trying that, right? Give it property details, seller questionnaire, upgrade list, neighborhood news, inspection highlights, property notes, unique features. That way you get a whole list of things. Or just dump all your disorganized notes in AI, then ask AI to create the MLS description, social media captions, email blast, open house script, buyer talking points, show follow-up text, feature sheet copy, video script, list of claims verified for posting. So all kinds of things you do. You just don't have to do it just the words. You can ask it to give you a whole package and things like that. So you can use AI that's internal. And then you have to read it, I guess, and analyze it. Yep. I still haven't seen anything that you can get off the shelf to do whatever it is that you want to do. I'm still waiting for that.
It's coming.
It's coming. Somebody's going to come up with it. It could be these guys. Who knows? But somebody's going to come up with something that'll automate it, right?
Yep.
Good.
Some random topics from Reddit. So this headline is Whirlpool CFO says appliance demand hasn't been this low since the great financial crisis. So this is a chart showing appliance demand, like dishwashers, washing machines, and that goes hand in hand with the housing market. So you don't need new appliances unless you're in a new house. So people are not buying new appliances, and I guess it's a higher end item that if you don't need to replace it, you're not going to. You're going to let it right out. So people are also struggling in the appliance world. These are just people chatting about the market in general. So it's kind of how you just asked it. Now someone asked in the group, how's everyone feeling about the market? Like trying to get into the market, what's the general sentiment? So I just thought this was interesting to see what people are saying. So some people said, I think people are underestimating how much affordable housing has become for those with middle incomes. Number one, home prices have dropped very significantly relative to average salary in the last 4 years. And number two, stocks are at all-time highs, which means anyone who is saving down payments in their TFSA, FSHA has increased their odds of buying a home dramatically, even those who probably thought they would never have a shot 5 years ago. If prices come down this significantly, of course, demand will shoot back up. So this is a sort of a sweet spot right now, right? If your clients are thinking about whether to get in now or keep waiting, And someone responded, can confirm, 2 years ago I had a down payment for a property, was starting to properly look, kept holding off because the market felt too crappy. That down payment has already increased 50% in the last 2 years in the stock market before considering 2 more years of savings. So this is what I was saying earlier. The people that didn't buy in the hot market have been saving, investing in stocks, kind of cautiously watching, probably have secure jobs as well. Those are the people that have literally doubled their down payment, even with the interest rate fluctuating so much. Now they're seeing the opportunity. So it's interesting, and goes back to what Claire was saying, communicating to your first-time buyers about these savings programs, because they can't do it later when the market's done. They need to be doing it right now. So you need to be communicating it now, and those leads aren't going to do anything for 2 to 3 years. But now is the time that they could be putting the money in to let it grow, right? If they're feeling kind of stuck. There's another example that the Globe and Mail did on just a regular person. This is just a profile of somebody in the city, HR manager, age 41, annual salary was about $135,000. She ended up saving $104,000, so that was 20% at a 3-year fixed rate, so 4.29%. So some would be like, oh my God, that's so much higher, but this is the rate that it is today. Took her some years to save, but she had put money into a mixture of accounts of TFSA, FHA. She had a financial advisor guide her with how much to put. She actually did not put a fixed amount every pay. Her strategy was as much as she could. So she calculated what her financial budget was to live, so what it cost her to eat and rent, and whatever extra she had outside of that every single month, she just dumped into these accounts, just as much as she could over time. And then by 2025, she was able to purchase a 1-bedroom den condo for $520,000 in the downtown core. So, I mean, the age is 41 years old. So we know that first-time home buyers have dramatically increased at 40 years old. But that's an example of somebody that used advantage of these saving programs to be able to buy, right? This wasn't somebody that had help from family, no help from parents, no down payment help, no cash flow help. But this is what you could be communicating to younger people or these 40-year-olds now to start doing it, because it's going to take some time to build up. The interesting thing that I thought was cute, I don't know if this would be me, but they said that she loved the condo so much, it was probably going to be her condo for the next 20 years. So I think that's extreme to do a 1-bedroom condo, but maybe they loved it so much. I think the reality is like 5 to 10 years they're going to be looking for something, but this person was expected to live in the unit for at least 20 years. The mortgage itself was $980 bi-weekly. Condo fees were $600. So that's somebody earning $100,000 though a year.
I mentioned a couple of weeks ago about stock market, and if anybody's invested in the stock market, because the stock market's done quite well the last little bit, and I got a bunch of blank stares here thinking like nobody invests in the stock market. What I meant to tell you is that your RSPs, your first-time home buyers plans, these savings plans, that's stocks. They're all stocks.
Yeah, so the money is there, and then you can take that money and invest it, and depending on the account, the capital you earn is tax-free. So this is people doubling the money in there. And then
the first-time home buyers, yeah. So it makes sense.
These are programs. I know some agents, I know Omer's team particularly, they have strategy marketing materials just for these programs by itself. They do full seminars to introduce these programs to people, showing them how to use it, knowing that in time they'll be able to help them with the sale of a house one day. This was just kind of cute. I don't have his name in front of me and I can't pronounce it anyways. There was that soccer player that scored a goal, and he is also a real estate agent in the city. So he took the opportunity when he scored the goal, the camera panned right at him, and he took his business card right out and he put it right up to the camera, and he said, I'm also a Toronto real estate agent, call me. And I looked at his profile, and I guess he's a soccer player kind of on the side. Just kind of talks to how underfunded our athletes are in Canada, which is another topic. But the message is take every opportunity you have to be visible. You never know what opportunity you're going to have to tell somebody you're a real estate or showcase yourself, right? So be proud about it. He right up to the camera, here's my business card. And I'm sure he got a bunch of followers and stuff out of it, but you never know. And you can also have side hustles. You don't necessarily have to just be boring real estate agent. You could also be a famous athlete as well.
You guys hear about that fire at that lease side condos again? They lit it up a second time?
No, you're lying. What's the date of that?
This is
May 4.
This is May 4. Apparently they were doing construction there, and a spark lit up the insulation just like it did last time.
That's karma. That building needs to go. I heard of another fire in a Pickering development. I forget something Catalina. There's 2 detached houses that totally went on fire. Pickering North. Anyways, a while ago we talked about Canada Post was getting rid of door-to-door delivery. They announced in Ontario the first couple mailboxes that are going to be implemented. And where was it? It wasn't that many. So it's going to be a 5-10 year project to get these mailboxes underway. But it was in the Etobicoke, I think it's Rexdale area, M9V and M9W will be the first batch in Ontario to be converted to community mailboxes. And that's it for Ontario, or there's some in Ottawa. But otherwise, it's all over the province. So that wasn't a big, huge
I've
thing.
had community mailboxes for 20 years. I don't know what the problem is.
I don't know, but
You guys get it at home?
we get it to our house in Scarborough yet.
Yeah.
I don't care. I mean,
I'm
although,
paying twice as much taxes, and you guys are paying half the taxes, and I have to. Yeah, okay.
yeah, welcome to Toronto. You can move right over, get over the Rouge.
This article is good for those people, and you can take this. Where did I get this? This is REM Magazine. A lot of stuff I get from REM Magazine. You guys read REM Magazine? Anybody read that? No.
They actually converted it to a print magazine. Did you see? They
an
took it
option,
back.
right?
Yeah.
They did a print run. I'm not sure how long they're going to do that for. But yeah, interesting. But he talks about here about 5 listing strategy every agent should know and when to use them, and the different strategies. And he's put into a little chart here, and is sort of getting the results. I'm not sure if we can give this to your client or what you can do here, but it talks about the different strategies. So, what are they? One's underpricing. Do you have this too?
Yep.
One is underpricing. One's pricing at market. One is aspirational. Aspirational, what's that?
You actually lift a little bit higher at what you want because you're trying to like attain the aspirational price. It's a very risky strategy,
high
but it would
price,
be
yeah.
like a very unique niche property that you would use that for.
Under market plus offer date, and off market. Off market means exclusive, but exclusive is, it's almost impossible today. Just so you know, exclusive, you cannot put a sign on the property.
No, I think that an off-market strategy is still being used in like areas like King, Woodbridge. Like you're kind of like, I don't want to have bad words only, but you're sort of market that doesn't want to be online. They have a lot to protect, and things do trade in those pockets off
But I
market.
think it's all done. It's all done on.
It's already
MLS.
high, crazy prices anyways. So yeah.
And then they go into see what's the goal. So a goal for each of them for underpricing is create competition. When to use it? Strong market. Risk may sell too low if demand misses is underpricing, and results multiple offers high emotion. So it goes through different things that the results would be. At market would be clean, predictable sale. Aspirational is either premium or stale listing. Something's going to happen. Under market plus offer date is structured multiple offers. Off market is quiet, direct deal. So, yeah, we sort of talked about the pros and cons. So if everybody's interested in putting that into your listing presentation somewhere, and somebody asks you about strategy, do I underprice it? Do I overprice it? It really depends on the situation, how motivated they are. But there are different methods that you can do it. What do we recommend right now? What's the deal? Price it at market, right? Your property is priced at market. Anybody else priced at market or below market?
I mean, this becomes the main focal point of your conversation in your listing appointment. You're talking all of these strategies through, right?
Mm-hmm.
Alex,
like we spend a lot of time, Nelson and myself, and I guess you guys too, about evaluating properties, right? What do you think? I'm going to a listing appointment. What's the value of this property? What's this? Whenever they talk to me, and Nelson probably does the same thing, I'd rather talk strategy than price. Because price, I don't know, who knows? We can't guess the price.
Mm-hmm.
You can come out with a range, but basically it's talk about more strategy. You got to price low, price high. What's the motivation?
I've become very good at telling people not to chase the market now instead of just like dropping it a lot lower.
Yeah.
But in the life lease condo that I have for sale, I got a call from like 3 out of 8 in the building name. Like, what are you doing?
Yep.
Your price is so low, and I'm like, well,
I want to sell.
And is it sold? None of them sold yet. Still.
Yes.
So they're still too high, right? Like, yeah, and we kind of do a disservice to ourselves too when we do those posts that are like 17 offers, like, when we do the screenshot and we show everybody how many offers the property got, but we never tell the clients the actual story of that. So yeah, they see the result, they see 16 offers and they see this crazy high price, but they don't know how low it was relative to the sale price or what had to happen to make that happen. So it's our job when we go in to talk to sellers to explain that it's a strategy, it's a marketing price. These are strategies to get to a certain price, and there's risks associated with each strategy as well. And you have to kind of talk it through, and in the end, they'll understand the sort of pros and cons to each. And it's not perfect. You have to sort of pick one and go with it as well and try. But yeah, I've seen every strategy. I think depends on the pocket, depends on the clients, depends on if it's vacant or not, depends on a lot of factors.
It depends if the seller's motivated or not too, right? Because they say they don't want to give it away. You want a lower price, but then the seller has to know what's going on too. Right?
Yep, we lost our first listing 2 weeks ago, condo in Scarborough, because the client wouldn't listen to our price. And we were very honest the whole time, should be the price. And he kept saying every week, girls, what's the problem? Something must be wrong. And we said, yes, something is wrong. It's the price that's wrong. We were never shy about it. They're going to try with another agent to still get their price. So we did let it go. It's the first one we've ever let go, because they're going to list it at even higher than we had it at. But the poor guy they just can't get it. So that's okay. We were happy to let that one go, because he couldn't, the motivation was there, but also not there. So it's interesting.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
So the Americans, they're gone crazy with all their different
yeah,
things,
you guys
right?
keeping up with what's happening in U.S. real estate? Like, I don't know. It doesn't affect us too much, but it's interesting to watch, because I think it will come one day. The big one first was Remax Real getting together. Does that impact your world at all? Like, did you have any second thoughts after that or questions? Not really, no.
So you know, Real's like an online American company. I guess they're up here too a little bit there, but they're mostly American. And it's an online, what do you call it? High tech. What do they call themselves? High tech and high
cloud AI.
Cloud, blah blah blah. I mean, as I said last week, they still use Lone Wolf, they still use Broker Bay, they still use all the same tools we have, but they call it AI instead of whatever. So Realm and Remax, it's like oil and water. It's a funny mix. So I don't understand it, but I guess they'll figure it out eventually.
Yep.
And then the Compass bought the Americans brand, like the Anywhere brands. So they bought Century 21. They bought, like, Century 21 was owned by Anywhere Brands, which owned Century 21, Coldwell Banker, Homes and Gardens, Sotheby's,
Christie's,
a whole bunch of them anyways. So Compass, who's also a big brand, it's not a discount brand, they're a brick and mortar luxury brand, bought Century 21 and Anywhere Brands. And then they also bought a company called Peerage. And Peerage is a Toronto company which owns the rights, don't own it, but they own the rights to Sotheby's. They own Baker Real Estate. They own Chestnut Park and a couple other companies. So Compass bought them too. So it's weird. I don't know what's going on. So
yeah. And the new one is EXP and Next Home.
No, that was the latest one.
So it's a similar Leeds type. Well, Next Home is like, I don't know how it's more traditional. They have brick and mortar offices.
They're brick and mortar as well.
EXP is another cloud. So it's this combination of cloud and sort of traditional coming together.
EXP bought Next Home, and now they changed their name. It's no longer called EXP. It's called AGNT.
That's what they're trading under. AGNT.
That's what their trading name. I'm not sure whether that means their.
I think it just means their stock trading name.
But the AXP brand is still there?
Probably, yeah. So needless to say, not lots of stuff happening in the US.
So different world, so things are changing. I'm sure things will happen up here eventually too, I don't know. CRAs after a bunch of people, just doesn't really matter, but a lot of people that bought properties or flipped properties or during CERB, they said that they moved into a property, they call it principal residence, they sold the property, didn't claim the profit as income. And CRA eventually will find them, and they're going back to, believe it or not, they're going back to 2015 to today. They're going back over 11 years for people that bought and flipped properties and didn't declare the income.
So you mean there's no property taxes right now, so they're looking for money.
They're going back between 2015 right now. Right now they're doing 2015 to 2017, and they're going to go up to 18. Now they're working their way through.
That tells me they're looking for money.
Not if you don't tell the truth. If you don't tell the truth, that's
forever.
It's forever.
Those 7-year hook.
Yeah, I killed that guy when I was a teenager. I know some guys that some people took CERB, and the qualification for CERB is you had to earn $5,000 the previous year, and I know some people that never did, and they took the CERB as well, and they'll get caught up. Anyways, Good news, CPP is reduced, so they're saving you money. It's gone down from 9.9% to 9.5%, which will affect you guys. So you can save a little bit of money in your CPP this year. But when you guys file your taxes, as independent contractors, you guys don't pay employment insurance. Well, what you do pay is CPP, and you pay both sides. You pay the employer and the employee portion of CPP. So it's gone down from 9.9 to 9.5. So it's going down. So that's the savings.
I'm good other than some training stuff.
Save Max, just so you know, Save Max, they gave him, they're allowing him to come back.
Well, no, that's not him. He's still not allowed to be broker of record, but they're allowing Save Max, one version of it, to trade under supervision. I don't know if it's to clear off what they have existing right now, or I don't know how you recover from PR like that either, but at the same time, Rico's developing a new board. Did you guys see the news in Fulton with the new minister that's overseeing things? The interesting thing is that the new board, they're creating a 9-person board with nobody from the industry. So they're not allowed to be registered, affiliated, or part of the real estate industry at all. Except for they are allowed to self-appoint people. So I'm wondering if they're going to self-appoint people from the industry, but the 9 appointed board will not be from the real estate industry at all. Not at all. So these are like government sort of people, like, it is interesting. So
Cash it out.
I don't know, but I don't know how you have a board to protect consumers without having a voice for what's happening in the real estate world.
The insurance was anything.
Yeah.
There's one more thing that you get an education. This fellow here got caught on camera, and he was on Instagram, and some guy copied him, and somebody copied him, and maybe you guys saw it already, but this guy was doing a real estate agent was doing a photo shoot in a property out in, I think it was
like Milton or Mississauga.
it was Milton someplace. Toronto agent doing it in Milton. And I guess he had a film crew there, and then somehow some neighbors started getting him on his back, telling him, like, you can't park here. Some neighbors sort of did a Karen on him, I think, right? So you can't park your cars here, you can't do this, can't do that. Anyways, they got in an argument, and somebody caught it on ring cam. And the guy was walking down the street telling the person who was telling him that, like, you can't park here, he's telling her F off.
He just went ballistic. It did go around in our WhatsApp group at some point. But yeah, this guy went off. Like,
he went off, and he says, "You effing this, effing that, and go to hell, and call the police, go ahead and call the police, you effing D," and they just go on and on and on. So somebody filed a complaint to Rico. And the second guy says, guess what the fine was? And the way he said it was the fine $5,000? Anybody want to guess?
50.
Was the fine $10,000? Was the fine $15,000? The fine was $17,500.
and a course.
To the agent.
And a course, so 18,000.
And they had to take a woke course at the University of York. Anyways, he had to do a diversity course, and the course cost him $5,000.
Oh.
So it's $23,000 for just mouthing off on the street. So as an agent, you have other responsibilities. So you can't, even though you'd like to tell these guys to do this and do that, you got to be careful.
You just shouldn't live like that. I don't know. Like.
And the guy didn't put up any defenses. Yes, I blew yes, I was mad. Yes, this, I did it, and no defense. Again, no defense anyway.
He's right there.
He was on film.
Bad day. I hope that video was good.
You got that? $23,000 fine?
I'm not hearing any of this.
What did they charge him with? Unprofessional and treating the public badly and swearing and.
No, it's his communication though to the public, right? Rico's trying to protect public, so you can't talk to the public like that.
And he was
The public started it. Michael, just don't get $23,000. It's too many people.
Who the broker card was? The broker card?
No, it's just the agent.
Speaking of fines, there was another local Remax that got fined $25,000 for not having a FinTrack risk assessment document. So part of the new March 2026 FinTrack requirements is that they've increased all the fines that were already pretty heavy alone. So risk assessment is a document that we prepare. I prepare it every 2 years for our particular business that looks at types of clients you guys all work with, our office locations, what are our typical transactions, and I assess a risk level. So our internal level of risk here at our brokerage is medium to high, depending on where and what it is. So I might say that you guys located here in Scarborough in an industrial area, working with your referrals, your friends and family is probably pretty low risk. But if once in a while you maybe take on a cottage property or you do a commercial property and those aren't normally your line of business, we're not a cottage rural type brokerage, that would be a higher risk because it's not a typical client that you'd be working with. So I'd be looking at money laundering risks with that type of transaction. So just so you know, we have that document in-house. We do it every 2 years, but Remax did get fined $25,000 just for not having the document at all. And they'll be getting looked at. So tomorrow there is, if you want to learn more about FinTrack, because I know it's your favorite topic, there is a training on it hosted by FinTracker, the app that we've been promoting and using. They're going to do a training tomorrow based on some new stuff for FinTrack that came on in March. I think it's always good to further your education in FinTrack no matter what. I got the question, haven't we done this training already? Maybe, but it doesn't hurt to just do it over and over so that, you know, it gets ingrained in your brain. And there has been some changes since March 2026 that will come into play. So we sent an email about that. I'll watch it. We'll also send a recording if you can't watch it live, but it's tomorrow, May 12th at 1 p.m. And then I was just going to do a list of some training unless you've got some stuff you want to talk about.
So this and that. That's the way to.
Okay.
Just going back to this here, how many people are doing your FinTrack? Are we big?
I thought it was like a heavy usage. I can see about 100 people have created an ID and have logged in, but I got my invoice last month for AML tracking, which is tracking behind the scenes, and it wasn't that much, which tells me you're not submitting a ton of clients through the app to use it. So, I mean, I guess you're still doing the form, which is fine, but is anyone using the app and have been converted and really like it? Because I have heard good things. Alex, you like it? It does a receipt of funds for you right there too. You can't not miss anything because it makes you go through it. So you're not ever going to get something from me saying you missed this because it physically doesn't let you. I think it's a pretty easy tool to use. I don't know. Yeah, we could start to make it mandatory one day, but I can see a mixture of forms still. But yeah, you like it.
I think it's good. I think and where a lot of agents get fall down is when it comes to corporations.
That's true.
I don't see anybody doing the corporations, doing the find out the articles in corporation, then you have to ID the directors.
Yeah, so you've got to do the personal individual form, the corporation form, and if they own 25% or more, we have to do a beneficial ownership form. And you have to verify that their articles of incorporation is true, that it hasn't been falsified. So you actually have to do a bit of a Google search and see if you can find another corporate direction. Run it through FinTracker would be a good option. You actually have to just do some research. They want you to Google search these people. They don't want you just to assume that you know them. They actually want you to put their name in Google, search them, and look for anything that might be different from what they told you of who they are. But that's what they expect from us on every single client. So I recommend the training tomorrow. I will be sending out our new policies and procedures guide as well. So I'm going to be sending out that this month. And then we have, is this event before?
Do this one first.
This is Craig Proctor. I don't have a date here though. No, that's after these events. So that's after Realtor Quest in Markham, Wednesday, 9 o'clock. Prepare for a breakout 2026. What top agents do when sales stall and why it works in any market. The surprising shift that turns impossible markets into growth opportunities. What was his, there was something that he's known for.
This is Craig Proctor, right? So everybody know Craig Proctor. He was probably the first agent that made $1 million in a year. New market. And he's got a training session there with it's all call to action. He runs ads that make people call. What's your house worth today? Guaranteed home sales plan. Anybody heard of that before? He created that. So he had all these types of things in that. So basically he's going to probably do a half a day event. And he's going to probably sell you the main event later on, but some education is better than none. Has everybody been to Craig Proctor before here? You've been 4 years ago, right? He has a very strong system, very, very detailed business in that. So that's on the 12th. Usually he has it at the Sheridan at Markham.
It's on the 20th.
It's on the 20th anyway, so we'll get more information later on. So
okay. Realtor Quest is 13th, 14th. Who's going to Realtor Quest? Everybody. So 13 and 14, I have the agenda here. I'll just say some topics. So the first day they're doing the spring annual meeting. So if you have an opinion or you want to see what Tribe is doing with your fees, you'll want to go to that meeting first. That's bright and early at 9 o'clock. So 9 to 11, they do their annual meeting right there. Then they're going to do 5 AI skills every agent must know. How agents stay top of mind. Matrix, I don't know. Matrix and One Home. I guess that's for different boards that want to switch back to Matrix. More AI topics. And then Michelle Obama is doing her keynote speak on the first day at 12:30. So we'll probably go for day 1. But then David Greenspan will be talking. There's sessions all throughout the afternoon. Different topics. Listing, selling, tenanted properties, global confidence. Rebecca Mountain will be there. Honestly, I like the networking the most too. That you can go to around different booths, see what technologies are out there as well. Like lots of people like going for the free stuff, free swag. And then day 2, Realm, Own the Street. So that looks like a farming commercial market update. Who's this? Malcolm Gladwell?
It's a very famous
Author, right? Yes. Okay. Yeah. So more, I wouldn't consider it self-help book, more thoughtful introspection type books. Yeah. Yeah. I think everybody should go. Your dues are paying for it, so you might as well go to your free conference.
It's free lunch too, right?
Free lunch both days.
That's at Dixon Road?
Convention Center. Toronto Congress Center.
Toronto Congress Center, right?
Yeah.
Who's been in there in the past? Who's gone to Realtor Quest in the past? Was it good? You enjoyed it? I think there's going to be lots of AI guys there, I bet.
Yeah.
4 or 5.
All right. I bet there's going to be lots of AI guys. I bet there's going to be lots of brokers that are trying to twist your ear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'll be good. It's good to get together.
How do you check in? You have to
register and you show a QR code.
You have to register before you show up, or you can register when you're there?
You can do it when you're there, but I wouldn't because it takes time. Just do it now and then you get a QR code. You show them when you get there.
It's on your phone. You show the QR code, you check in.
Yep. And then on May 20th, the following Wednesday, Caitlin will be doing a session on farming and guerrilla farming. And she's going to do it Ajax in person and virtual. And then the week after that, she's inviting Beta DeLisi from Stonegate to do a presentation on listing and selling tenanted properties. And she's going to do that here at Scarborough office. And then she's got some other workshops that she sent in her email as well. So lots of training happening for May. Any questions online? Any comments? Anything else from you?
Trying to think, do we have some funky thing there, Nelson, for some tenant doing something wacky?
There's always something. It's hard to.
Because remember, we were going to try to get a hold of Beta for some reason.
Anyone have properties that they want to talk about or need help with?
10 Redwood.
10 Redwood. Snetic needs help with a property in EO1 or EO2? No, I think it's EO1. What do you consider? Is a semi?
It's technically a semi-duplex.
Semi-duplex. So
bedrooms, 2 washrooms, 21 square feet.
Rentable?
Upstairs rentable. Main floor is getting $3,500 a month.
You're getting showings?
For sale.
For sale.
You were getting showing.
Say duplex. What does that mean, duplex?
It's a legal duplex.
So up and
It's a semi-duplex?
Yeah, up and bottom.
Up and down, and up and bottom are both legal?
Yep.
And you're getting $3,000 in the top?
No, upstairs I think we would end up getting like 22, 23.
And bottom?
Bottom is a main floor and then an unfinished basement. We were getting that last year,
3,500.
It's probably fast.
So it's a 22 plus 3,500?
Upstairs we're living in it right now, but my guess
Potentially,
is
yeah.
22.
So you can rent the whole thing for $5,000?
I think so, yeah.
And what are you asking price?
1.28.
It's a good opportunity. It's in a highly desirable area. So.
I'd say like if we were one more street over, that's like technically Leslieville. We're like on the cusp before it turns into Little India. But Little India actually is not Little India anymore. It's insane.
Yeah.
Like it actually feels like Jamaican restaurants.
It's the Medina.
It's a freehold.
It's a
Semi
freehold.
detached. Yeah. Semi.
It looks like a detest because it doesn't look like the other house, but it's like was built in 1918. So like I guess they did think differently a little bit.
I have a detached, we saw a detached house and it's touching the other house. It's technically detached, but you see a sliver of light like through, but the eavesdrops touch like this. They're 1920s houses. It's crazy.
There's a garage.
On each other. Yeah.
Yeah, the one of the beaches are funny because the eavesdrops are underneath each other. Like
Yeah.
they've actually crossed.
Ooh. Crazy. Well, the market has picked up a little bit. Like we've seen it in the stats.
Yeah, I'm thinking the market's picking up.
I think just buyers need more education than they ever have. They need more hand holding. You need longer conditions. You need to talk everyone through things. Things are more complex than they ever have been. Not deals just don't just happen. It requires a lot of talking, tons of negotiating with both sides, right? That takes time to come together. So
Upside Lowe's and Vaughn or something, when they're doing the offer day strategy, their next price increase is actually not
that much.
as crazy as I thought.
Yeah.
And I'm just noticing it this week.
Yeah.
So I think people are getting realistic a little bit.
I'm seeing some sellers starting to come to terms now with what they need to sell. And that will help the market a lot.
But I don't think we're at 2017.
For condos in Fort York, you might prove it out. Prove it out.
The village is still 24.
Sorry, what did you see?
He's not convinced from the article that said that condo prices in Fort York are 2017 levels. I don't think, is that different? We'll prove it out.
Excuse me, village is still at 2020, okay?
I guess
Actually sell.
expecting the games to
Yeah.
make it.
Okay, well, nothing, so there's no holidays or anything. Oh, it is a long weekend. Okay, so we won't see you. We won't see you Monday.
When's the long weekend?
This current coming weekend.
This weekend already? Another day off?
Claire's upset. Another day off.
Another day off?
Oh man, you guys are all gonna come back the next week saying that market was down because of the long weekend now.
Listen, man, I haven't had a deal since January 20th, 2025.
Good.
Good.
That's what Trump came into power.
Oh wow. Okay. Well, we'll see you for our training sessions. Let us know how we can help you. Have a good week.
Bye now.
Bye.